Hello and welcome to the CHS Weekly Report. I'm your host, Chesterton High School Assistant Principal Heidi Hennigar. This week my guests are members of the French Club. Thanks for coming in today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Can you, to start off, introduce yourself and tell us what grade you are in?
My name is Isabella Pinto and I am in grade 12.
My name's Connor Mathis and I'm a senior as well.
Have you been in French the whole time?
Yes.
So are you both French 4 or are you French 5?
French 5.
So are you involved in any other clubs or activities here at the high school?
Yeah. Right now, I'm involved in debate, mock trial club, BPA, and I do an internship as well.
I'm also involved in mock trial club along with Connor, and I actually have the same internship with him at the Duneland Chamber of Commerce, as well as I'm also in art club.
I want to ask you questions about all those things, but I should probably stick to the reason that we're here, which is French Club.
Of course.
What made you decide to start learning French?
Well, for me, it was my sister. She took French. She's 3 years older than me, and I've always been interested in languages. I also take Spanish, but
Spanish versus French.
Yeah, I started out with French, and it was pretty easy learning other languages from that. So
are French and Spanish close? Are those two of the languages that...
Yeah, I think they're very similar.
Okay.
I think I got mostly interested in French because my dad's from France, and so...
Like, actually legitimately from France. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I thought it would be cool if I could speak to him and stuff in another language, as well as I liked, the French culture, and especially their food. Their cuisine is so just immaculate.
Okay, like what? Like that, because when I think of France, all I think of is like pastries, croissants. That's all I've got. That's those two things.
Yes, exactly. The macaroons, everything all about
those
it.
are my favorite desserts.
Have you guys ever tried to make macaroons?
Yes. Well, actually, funny you say that because for my project in French 3, we had to make French dish or pastry, and my group did macaroons, and it's very difficult.
Okay, all I know is what I see on baking challenges on TV, and they do look very... they always talk about how difficult they are. Did they didn't turn out? Or they did?
Kind of wonky, but
okay.
They turned out all right. They tasted really good, so...
I'm sure fresh ones are better than the ones you can buy at Marshall's that are stale and like $6 a pack.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So, Isabel, your dad is from France. So, did he speak French to you, like, growing up?
Not really. I knew how to, count to 10, and I knew, basic, conversation, but nothing, really specific. But ever since, I started taking French, me and him talk, sometimes in French together.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Does he help you, do you find it easy? Is it something that it's not genetic. Are you, born into it, being, I don't know.
I'd say it's still a lot of hard work, just memorizing all the vocabulary, but with the vocabulary, once you have it down, it makes it really easy.
And if you're, able to speak with a native French speaker, does your dad have a cool French accent?
Yeah.
He's the greatest. Wow. So that is a good reason to start learning French. My own kids want to learn French because we had an exchange student from Belgium years ago who speaks French, and he would always speak to them in French and say, So my own kids, I think, will end up doing French. But I'm torn because that's for French. Spanish, I think, is the most widely used. I mean, would be super beneficial here. But when I was here, I took German and Japanese. So I'm like, I will be happy with any language that they choose. Yeah. So do you plan to continue to study French after you graduate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want to take French courses in college, maybe explore some other languages, but I was actually thinking about minoring in French, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, because I feel like I've learned a lot of skills in this language, and I'd definitely like to pursue it after high school.
What are you going to major in?
Right now, I'm majoring in business.
Okay.
So,
a foreign language got to be helpful as a minor for that,
Yeah, so... it's just very beneficial to continue that, and I'm excited.
I also plan to minor in French depending on which college I go to.
Okay.
And I plan to major in either criminal justice or forensic science.
Right. There are so many more questions I would ask you. You guys are very interesting.
Thank you.
So who is the staff sponsor of French Club?
We have 2 as of right now.
Okay.
We have Madame Hagman
Mhm.
and Mademoiselle
Oros.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, we've never had Mademoiselle Oros,
Mhm.
just because she just came in.
Yeah.
But Madame Hagman, she's been our French teacher for a couple of years now, for French 4 and 5, and we have a really good bond with her,
Mhm.
just because our French 5 class is fairly small, so
Yeah.
we all get to have like a different connection with her than you would have with a regular teacher. So.
Okay, so if I said 3 words to describe Madame Hagman,
Ooh,
only 3.
Bold.
definitely.
Okay, for sure. That's a good one. I know she's going to listen to this for
I
sure.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll nicely. Definitely, like.
Unique.
Okay. Yeah.
With her like fashion choices, and she has really nice jewelry.
Oh,
Yes.
there we go. Last one's you, Connor.
Well, I really just think, like, I've never really had a teacher like her that's, like, because she really interacts with us a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's just interactive, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah, in the classes that I've been in with her, she's just is very conversational, and she just talks to you and
Yeah.
teaches you through talking and being a real person. And yeah. Okay, so how many students are in French Club right now?
Well, that's hard to say just because we've gone to different events and there's not really like a set number. It's always like open to join, and
The numbers have varied throughout the
Yeah.
years just because
Yeah.
like the different hosts changing
Yeah.
in the club. But I'd say that we always have like at least like 10 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But 10 hardcore members that are the
Yeah.
core of what it is. And then there's the other people that come for whenever there's parties with food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got you. So if someone wants to join French Club, do they need to be enrolled in French? Or
No.
you can just join?
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
You can speak no French, and you can come and you can eat macaroons that Connor made.
Honestly, the meetings don't really have a lot of French speaking in them.
Okay.
It's more about immersing yourself in the culture.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot, it really is cultural. So what are some of the things that you do in the meetings?
Well, throughout the years, we've done a bunch of different things. We've gone from, like, our, like, first 2 years here, there was, like, a trip that we would take to Chicago,
Mhm.
and, like, we would go to, like, the little square with, like, all the, like, French pavilions with the
Mhm.
crepe stands, etc.
Oh,
Yes. and then,
I bet a lot of people became French Club members that
Yeah.
day.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yep.
A lot.
Yes, and then every year we do something for Mardi Gras. We usually like have like a big cake,
Okay.
and we also there's like a French holiday. It's known as the Crepe Day.
Yes.
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 It's in February, and so we always have a meeting for that.
Uh-huh.
And we eat crepes besides this year, but
Yeah.
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 And then, of course, there's the foreign language Olympics, so that's always a fun thing to do. I know French isn't really that great when it comes to the Olympics, but, you know.
So why don't you explain the foreign language Olympics?
Well, there's, like, a lot of little events that you do. It's really just, like, a one-time thing, and I haven't really, like, I don't know too much about it. Just, like, I just know that there's so many different, like, things that you could do there, and
Yeah, we haven't won recently just because we're kind of slow. It's kind of like, actually, I guess
Just
I
like-
can't compare it.
like
but-
mini games, like just stuff like that. I don't think that you really get tested on your knowledge of a language just because, like I said, I don't think any foreign language club has test your knowledge.
Yeah.
It's kind of just
Yeah.
like about the culture and stuff. So the foreign language Olympics is just like a fun thing to do to interact with the other foreign language
That
clubs.
sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I have not heard of that.
Yeah.
So is it something that you usually do year round, or is it like a day at the end of the year?
I think it's in November, actually. Was
Okay.
it November?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
at the beginning of the school year. I
Okay.
don't think that they did it this year, though.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
Okay, I need to learn more about this.
Yes.
So what would you say are some of the big differences that you found between American culture and French culture?
French people are stereotypically known to be really rude just
Mhm.
because they just don't take like negativity from other people, and they're
Mhm.
like super trendy and like
Mhm.
always super hip with the social media.
Mm-hmm.
they're like, when looking at like their music and stuff, their music videos are so much more abstract in a way.
Yeah, also going back to a bunch of conversations ago about speaking French, I know that with French and other foreign languages, they talk way faster than we do as Americans. So having to like understand or like talking to a native French speaker is kind of difficult because it's not necessarily what you learn in school. It's much faster, very different. And so that's one thing I've picked up on learning French over the years.
So they do have, like, that is the stereotype, that they're kind of rude. Would you say does that seem like that's true? Or is it just, it's kind of like if someone says that a woman is bossy and you're like, no, that means that she knows what she wants and she's assertive. Is it that kind of a thing where they're like, they just don't have time for the nonsense and
I think so.
Just not patient about it?
Yeah.
Is your dad that way?
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that they just,
Like, I think it's like how Americans can be stereotyped as like, well, from other countries, kind of like dumber.
What?
Stuff
I've
like that.
never heard this.
Wow.
I've heard it. It's true. Yeah. And I'm sure, everything comes from somewhere. So have you been able to go to France? No.
I actually wanted to study abroad when I go to college to France, just so I could kind of use my skills in French. But no, I've not been able to go.
I plan to do the same thing as Connor. I think that we both wanted to go on the trip that Mr. Nelson used to host when he worked here, and how he would take like a bunch of students every 2 years to France, and we were really interested in that, so hopefully they get that started again.
Yeah, I think no one will let us in their borders at this point. So
as of now.
Eventually I do hope that would be something that you could continue doing. I never did that. I so wish that I had taken advantage of it and gone abroad. So what are some recommendations that you could make for those who would like to explore French culture? I mean, celebrate Crepe Day, obviously.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely explore the cuisine just in general because they make things so much different than we do. And even looking at just the way that they're set up in France, they have like specific stores just for cold cuts and then a specific store just for milk, etc. And it's just like cool how they're all separated and they have so many different kinds of cheese, especially chocolate. Just they have the best of everything. And so definitely if you want to get excited about French culture, look at the cuisine.
Yeah, definitely. And along with all that, I just think that it's just very beneficial to, immerse yourself in a different culture, no matter what that is. But it's just interesting seeing how different it can be from how we live our lives and how, the French live their lives. And it's just really great learning about that.
Yeah. So what are your favorite types of French food that you have tried? And is there something you've tried that you're like, oh yeah, escargot is not happening?
I actually did try escargot last week.
Last week?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Kind of reminded me of like calamari, but it was it wasn't bad at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you try it?
We went to a restaurant in Lake Tahoe over spring break.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't even know the name of it. But
yeah, but it's like, well, why not? Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was like, because they ordered it as an appetizer. So I've always wanted to try that.
Does it look like a snail?
No.
It doesn't?
No. Well, no. Because it doesn't have like the shell, so you wouldn't know really. It's just
okay, I definitely always picture a shell when I think about people eating escargot.
It's kind of like, like have you ever had mussels?
I've seen mussels, but I would not eat mussels.
Yeah,
yes.
well, it kind of looks like that. So.
It's like,
I think
is
it
it like
tastes
rubbery?
Yes. That's exactly what it tastes like.
Is it like slathered in butter, at least?
Yeah.
Or something. Okay.
Mix of sauce.
Okay. Have you tried it?
I love escargot.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys are real Frenchies here.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you not like? What have you tried that you are not a fan of?
I remember back to the French 3 project where we had to make, dishes. There was like a blueberry crepe that a student made, and it was just not
Do you think
did
it
not
was
taste
that
good.
student who might be listening? Do you think it was their fault that you didn't like it?
It might be.
Maybe because the blueberry crepe sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think it had one ingredient that was like made in like a certain region. It was like traditional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was we tried a lot of foods there, but that was probably my least favorite.
Okay.
I had this, it's like a pie, but it was made out of cheese. And it was completely cheese, nothing, no fruit or anything. And it was not,
Was there a crust?
Yeah.
And then it was cheese inside the crust.
Yes, but I don't know. It didn't even taste like cheese either. It just like, kind of like, I don't know, thick Jell-O.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Rubbery. No. Yeah.
Okay, but favorite French food would be
honestly, I'm gonna go with sweet crepes.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Crepes are always the go-to.
They just are. They are. We celebrate Crepe Day in our house because of our exchange student. And I was like text him a picture of our crepes. He's like, they look great. And I'm like, they don't look great. I didn't do a good job. But yeah, it's a good day. Okay, now comes the time that you have to teach us some useful French words. I'm particularly interested in the counting because that part in Hamilton where the kid counts. You know the part I'm talking about.
I've never watched Hamilton.
Oh my God.
I'll take your word for it.
It's like, how does it go? Un, deux,
trois.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Well, yeah. Okay, so do it again. Sorry. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, the Hamilton fans that are listening right now are disgusted with the two of you because you are not singing it in the tune,
I don't know the tune
that it's supposed to be.
Just imagine it.
Gosh. Okay, so another useful phrases such as "I don't know."
Je ne sais pas.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Oui.
I did not know that's what that meant though.
Or je sais pas.
Yeah.
For short
Je sais
version.
pas.
Yeah, grammatically you go the first way, but when you're speaking, you really just...
You're allowed to use broken French because obviously you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's a question you may or may not know the answer to. When our exchange student came here, he said, nobody told me about the word gonna. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, we never learned gonna. Gonna. I'm gonna go to the store.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess, going to.
Yeah.
Is there any word that you know of in French that is like our gonna that no one actually, like you wouldn't learn it per se, but it's actually what they say?
We've actually been, we did a whole lesson about French slang.
Oh, yeah.
With all the teens and all that. They have a lot of pig Latin there, like taking off the end of a word and putting
I thought
it
you
front.
meant real pig Latin. I'm like, that is the best. They speak pig Latin too. No, they don't. Okay.
Yeah, so just like words like cimer instead of merci.
Oh.
You know? It's just like stuff like that we've picked up on. We don't use it as much because we're not in States, but
yeah.
It's just it was helpful to learn about that, so when we go,
it's
not going to be like so foreign to us.
Yeah, for sure. So do you get into the culture enough to where you have like a favorite French movie or a favorite French musician?
Well, actually, we've been doing this thing called Mani Musicale, and that's like a March Madness bracket situation, but with French music.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because of that, I've picked up one of my favorite French songs. It's called New, and that's probably...
What does new mean in English?
We,
or is that the...
Or us, like...
Okay.
So.
Yes. We do that every year, the Mani Musicale, and I think it's really nice because we also get to watch the music videos for all the songs, so we get to see, like, the different ways that they interpret their own lyrics, and we oftentimes break down the songs and interpret the lyrics, like, translating them to English, because they often use, like, a bunch of idioms, too.
Oh.
I always forget the idiom for my favorite song, but it's, like, inside of it, it's, like, eat the sun or something. But, yes. And, yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as far as movies go, we always watch Ratatouille in French, which I can't even tell you how many times we've seen that in French.
We love it.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Other than that, though, we do watch we have watched a few movies in French class where they were like completely in French. And
Yeah.
it was like French origin.
Yeah.
But all of them have really like sad endings.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
like tradition for French people, I guess. But
That's
always
not
ends
bad.
in terrible.
The only time I do that is accidentally when I click on it on Netflix and I'm like, oh. But sometimes I
Yeah.
will watch them and I'm like, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Even though you have to sit and read the subtitles the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, because wasn't chocolat in French originally? Oh my God, you're so young. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Sorry. Karen.
Okay.
Can't
All right.
answer that.
You should know about Hamilton though, just so you know.
Yeah,
Um,
not wrong.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about French Club that we haven't touched on?
Not necessarily French club, but the French foreign exchange student
Mhm.
thing. We haven't been doing that, but I've always wanted to do that. I thought it was a great way to kind of, again, immerse yourself in the French culture without really taking French necessarily, or
I think we had like 7 of them last year that came, and like they were really cool. We got to like have like a whole day where we just got to talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was like really interesting and fun. And so to be able to like host them
Yeah.
is really
Yeah,
awesome.
I imagine it's set up through French club, so right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if someone wanted to join French Club, what would they need to do?
Probably just talk to Madame Hagman.
Okay.
Yes. She's like right next to the staircase inside of the foreign language hallway, and she's super nice and approachable. So
Mhm.
it will definitely be worth it.
And she's not around in the morning for the most
No.
part because she's at the middle school,
Yeah.
teaching French at the middle school. But anytime, like probably during lunches or SRT or
Mhm.
something like that you could catch her.
Yeah, and you could
Exactly.
also, of course, talk to Mademoiselle Rose,
Mhm.
just because she's always here.
She's a super cool person
Def-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, super
Yes.
nice. We've bonded with her, and we've never had her as a teacher.
Yeah.
so,
True.
Yeah, she's an easy person to bond with. I
Yeah.
think.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think the French kids are lucky. I think you guys have 2 like really good teachers, and they work super well together.
Yeah.
So that helps. Okay, well, that is going to wrap things up for this week's edition of the CHS Weekly Report. I would like to thank my guests for coming in and talking to me this week. This has been Assistant Principal Heidi Hennigar signing off.